right, everybody, welcome out to Mountainland Supply, Windshield time at Mountainland. We are here. I'm Joey. I'm here with Brandon, our CEO, as always. Today we're joined by Spencer Schwartz, our producer, and Jeffrey Cobb.
Hello.
So Jeff is the manager of CHOR, Mountainland Heating and Cooling in Orem.
That's right.
And you've been there for how long, Jeff?
We're looking at a little over 2 years now.
And how long you been with Mountainland?
10 years now.
10 years.
Really?
Yep.
So Jeff, he probably doesn't want to admit this, but I'll out him right away. He was referred to us by Brian Oosteveen.
Really? Boost.
They were roommates at the time, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
He was my roommate.
So they were roommates at the time, and Oost was obviously working here. Well, he was, right?
Yep.
Like he was working. Okay, because Oost left and then came back. So it was after he came back.
At the time, he was on the count.
When did you get hired?
2014.
Well, 20. Yes, that's 10 years ago. But like
January of 2014.
January. Do you know what day?
12th.
Ooh, you guys are going to be the
16th?
same?
Did you know that you have been here longer than I have?
Oh, okay.
I think.
What day did you
I
start?
think my hire date was January 29th.
Oh, really?
2014.
And you never temped, so that was your
No.
official first day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's funny.
didn't have to temp. Yeah, they didn't
we
make
didn't.
me.
Yeah, we didn't. Well, by then we'd been done temping.
Yeah.
I think because you didn't temp either, right, Jeff? Yeah.
I was referred.
So we're like hire buddies.
That's right. That's right.
I didn't
did we
know
just become
that.
best friends?
we made another connection on another level here, Jeff. I feel like we're even closer.
It's great. In that 10-year span, seeing the growth, that's because we're here.
Yeah, that's right, dude.
We're here for it.
That's exactly right.
So when you came on, where did you start?
Started off as a central driver under Shandon and Lance Pope at the time. He
So
was
back
there.
then, 6 local routes?
Yep, we had 3 south, 3 north, and then about 3 or 4 central.
Yeah,
So
it's crazy.
Wow.
really laid back then
Oh, yeah, dude.
with what we have going on right now.
Yeah, back then you had greens, right? You didn't even have or no, you had, no, you didn't have RF, so you had the bins still.
I actually started right before you guys got the guns. So
Okay.
I got to learn the warehouse, learn the queue, learn how to read the tickets.
Yeah, so you had the bins still, yeah.
Yeah.
RF was, I think, my very first year
Was it?
because we had to do the capital expenditure for it, and that
Yeah.
was like a big
Oh, yeah.
debate within the company of
Big monies.
was it worth it, was it not worth it?
Those
And,
guns were $1,200 a pop.
yeah, and I think what was it? For some reason, I have it in my head that there was a $70,000 cash outlay for it, capital expenditure, and now
For the module.
sorry, we're hijacking your time.
Hey, I'm
but,
all about logistics talk. I love it.
I remember the $70,000 at the time was like, it was huge.
That's a pinch.
Yeah. And now if we honestly, because of the size we are, we have a $70,000 capital expenditure request come through. It's like, okay.
That doesn't even come to me.
No, it does.
No, it does come to me. It doesn't go to you.
It doesn't come to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have to sign off on that. Joey can do that one. If 100,000 or more, it has to come to me. So, but that's kind of the craziness of where we've come from 70,000. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was this branch was 70,000 or if it was the whole thing.
Well, we started with this branch and
Was this branch first?
CHOR.
Or it seemed like we started with some of the smaller branches first, but
I think it was this branch and CHOR.
yeah, it could have been. I don't know.
We started Innovo at different branches, the smaller
that's
branches.
what it was.
Yeah.
But anyways, I remember that was a hot topic to talk
yeah.
about within the circles here at Mountainland.
Yeah. It revolutionized who we were, really, though.
But there's a lot of people that didn't think it would work.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of detractors.
And now you think about it, could you Jeff, could you ever do it without RF guns?
Oh, no, I loved it. I did some RF stuff before I came over here, so I was used to using the gun, but from a paper to the gun, I can grab more than one ticket at one time. I can just go ham on tons of tickets all at the same time. Oh, yeah.
So where did you work before here?
I worked at Target before.
Target.
I was going to school, and then I was working Target during the night.
Orem?
Back room. Yep, right up the road.
So I was across the street at Sprinkler World back in the day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Another symmetry between the two of you.
He's a long-lost brother. So.
we can just hold hands if you want. There we go. Okay.
Hands are
I
about
hope
the
you
same
guys. Oh,
size,
they
too.
can see it. They can see it. So was that your first job at Target, or?
Nope. I worked construction with my dad out
Okay.
of high school, and then I worked with my mom actually at a nursing home. She was a registered dietitian up at I can't remember where, but Stonehenge up on the hill, the rehabilitation center. She actually worked over there. I didn't work with her there, but used to work with old folks before then, and then after out of high school, went to do construction, and then jumped into Target to be able to go to school out of that.
So are you from Orem?
Yeah, I actually grew up maybe 5 miles from here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mountain View?
Yep.
Or, not an Orem Tiger.
Nope.
You weren't
He's a
Mr.
Bruin.
Orem?
No.
So did you know that Brandon Keach used to clean your school?
I did not know that.
Look at
There you
these
go.
connections.
There you go,
right
baby.
there.
Small town here.
You can go tell him thank you.
Yeah.
Although, when did you graduate from Mountain View?
07.
Oh, yeah, it was way before.
Yeah,
He started here in
Keach is a little
93.
bit older.
So when you were in, geez, you weren't even in school yet in 93. When did you start kindergarten?
When were you? Oh, can we ask when you were born?
I don't want to know when.
I don't think we can ask that question.
We can know when you were in kindergarten, though.
I'd probably say about 95.
Yeah, dude, you weren't even in
94.
kindergarten yet.
Man, we should have done your interview first before Keach.
Okay.
That'd have been fun.
So he cleaned it before you were even born. So there you go.
It's an old building for sure.
I didn't realize it was that old because I grew up in Payson and we have a really old building. I mean, it was in the 60s when it was built. They're building a new one down there now. But when we would come up to Mountain View, I was like, dude, this place is so sick. Look at all that they got. Plus, you had the rec center that was right next to it. So I thought you guys were like top tier. You and Timpview.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
You know, and then Lone Peak came in.
Lone Peak, baby.
And put them all to shame.
That's where it was at.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't the fun. That's not fun playing football against them. I got my butt kicked plenty of times from Lone Peak.
What position did you play in football?
I played left guard and nose tackle.
That sounds about right. If you guys don't know Jeff, he's a freaking massive man and like farm strong, massive man. I was joking with Keach earlier that I would let Keach use his legs and he could arm wrestle Jeff, and I guarantee Jeff would win with his arm.
We just had to find a floor large enough for both of us to be on.
He's so freaking strong. And that's one of the first things I remember about you working here was like people were loading cast iron tubs onto a truck. And they're like, just have Cobb come up and do it. The guy
He'll get it done.
Dude, he's so freaking strong.
By the way, going back to Mountain View, Bruin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell our listeners what a Bruin is?
It's a female bear, a mother bear.
So why a Bruin and not like what's a male bear? A bear or a boar?
Do you know?
I
mean,
know.
you were a Bruin.
Why is the mascot a female bear and not just a bear
I
or a
think-
grizzly?
Probably just more of a protection, maybe a little more.
Is that what would they put that on the walls and stuff? Like, we the female bears protect our cubs.
Probably try to and get everyone incorporated in it. You know,
Was it taught in school that it was a female bear, like a mama bear?
I believe so. It was at least like rumored around. Everyone talked about it, but not like.
I think UCLA started that. I mean, they are the Bruins,
They
right?
are the
I don't know
Bruins,
many
I
schools
guess.
that are older, but
Maybe that they were just copycatting. Just
it's
like
just it's fascinating.
it's just
to me.
like how the University of Utah has taken the U.
Yeah.
You know, from.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a huge difference between this and this.
Yeah, there is. Uh-huh.
I mean, okay.
Right.
People
So
copycatting.
started as a driver, and then what did you do?
drove Central for about 8 or so months, and then I got my Class B through a Mountainland's CDL job. The setup for it, and then after that, I took over the San Pete Delta run. Did that for about a year. Loved that run. That was great. It was just comfortable. Then I started getting back too soon. I was doing my runs too fast, according to other people. So they decided to put me in as the
Showing
assistant.
people up, man.
That's right. Decided to. They wanted me to come up as assistant shipping supervisor.
Under Shandon, right? Or
Yep.
with Shandon.
With
Yeah.
Shandon. And then did that for about 6 months. And then at the first of that year, after 6 months, is when we finalized the merger with Mountain States and Orem. So we got to headline and really set up the new transfer system between Salt Lake and all the new branches. So we really, me and my assistant Eli at the time, who's now my assistant manager at
Again.
CHR.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another great one.
Diverged and then came back together.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We felt like we put in a lot of new strides with how we handle transfers,
Absolutely.
how we handle deliveries. It got really busy after that merger.
Yeah, it did.
So we were learning a lot of how to handle different branches, different customers. It was fun.
It's awesome.
Then after that, I did shipping for 2.5 years, and then we got to that point where it's so big that I had to take over as the transfer supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
And then Eli stepped up as a shipping. We started seeing that division being created between all the different things we needed in the shipping here.
Yeah.
and kept growing from there. Did transfers for, I'd say, about a year. And then that's when we took over, started a night crew here.
Yeah, that's right.
Loved that job. If I could, that's probably one I'd love to go back to.
Was that your favorite job so far?
It was great because, like I said before, totally logistics mindset, like on my mind all the time. I'd love to
geeking out.
Oh yeah,
That's cool.
pull tickets, load trucks, help out.
What year was that?
It's probably
2018.
Yeah, I was gonna say 5 years ago. Well, it's more than that now.
Yeah, I remember
7
talking
years ago.
about that, and that being kind
6,
of like
7.
an experiment that was like, is this going to work or not?
Yeah,
And making sure that getting
we were both on the executive team back then. I mean, it was kind of first iterations.
Yeah, it was just an experimental to see, hey, is this going to really? I think we approved like, hey, we'll let this go for 6 months and just
because we were doing that was somebody's first rock. I remember that. I think Ben took that as a rock.
I think it was Ben.
Yeah,
and then I remember Ben saying that he was going to put Jeff in charge of it. I was like, nah, it's going to work.
Yeah, it'll be easy.
That's going to work.
Jeff's a savant of sorts.
Yeah,
if you guys don't know that already, he's a brain, a brain with the brawn. Some guys
By the way,
it all. Pisses
when we
me
were
off.
talking to Shandon, we actually said we mentioned how you follow Shandon and you actually make it better. Shandon.
You make Shandon look really, really good.
So
It's been a good mentor for me.
Oh, that's awful kind of you.
how much? How much is?
Are you going to say you love him too?
He's gonna get
he made
paid on the
Keach
back
say that he loves him.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
I love the hell out of him. Or heck out of him.
you can say hell. It's okay.
Again, I think every episode today, it's like we're trying to keep the MA not explicit.
Yeah, I think hell's good
Jeff.
though. I think you're okay there.
It's in the. I was always told if it's in the Bible, we're good. So, right?
Is that what you're told?
That's what I was told.
Just giving you a hard time.
Makes
I think
sense.
it'll be good.
So, if you could tell somebody who's at Mountainland right now, who's kind of
We didn't stop though. He stopped. He was
that's
just in the
right.
night. He hasn't
Yeah,
finished where he's going.
Oh yeah.
you went from the night crew to where?
After that, Spanish Fort was rebuilt. We had a new building show up there. They moved a lot of the ag product down there. That ag branch across the street from Orem turned into the turf distribution branch.
Right.
I was lucky enough to go over there and help with the reorganizing and the cleanup of the move to Spanish Fork. Was over there for 2.5 years.
You were the branch manager, right?
Yes, sir. Took over as branch manager.
And you don't have to call me sir, please.
That's the dad part coming out, the Alabama dad. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. That stuff. So,
You're making me feel old over here. Come on, man.
but yeah, so Eric Burrows came over as my assistant, and now he's over the ag branch now. So after 2.5 so years over there, had the same opportunity to go over to CHOR. They were seeing a big increase in inventory and employees, so felt like it was a good time to go over there and help out, get things organized, and just kind of bring that same energy, that Mountainland energy, over to some of these other branches as well.
That's awesome.
And you went over there as branch manager.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And you've been there for how long again?
Going on to, I went over there in September of 2 years ago. So
I can't believe it's been 2 years.
I know this is the crazy thing about Jeff. I mean, we were hired on at the same time. I don't know if you know that, Joe, but it's actually been pretty cool because me being actually really about the same time, you just hear Jeff's name.
Oh yeah,
like I remember just hearing it a lot of the time, and just you can trust Jeff. You can trust Jeff, right? And we've put you in some hairy situations
for sure.
We're not going to name them, but we put you in some hairy situations here. And honestly, you're like a Swiss Army knife. We know that you have the tools on you, and we know that you can deploy those and use those in those situations and clean up something. And we don't have to micromanage.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I love about Jeff that we're being able to do. But
so what's kind of interesting about Jeff and Shandon's kind of pathway through the company, they're much different than me and Keach, and you as well, where, Keach and I remember back in the day, you kind of had that standardized, you came in as a local driver, then maybe you got to a 2-ton, then you came inside, pulled tickets, went to the yard, whatever. But you had this kind of really regimented way of growth, which was great. I mean, you learned a lot through it. But as we've grown over the years, a lot of different pathways have opened up for you to go and grow through the company. And, your experience is different than Shandon's, and yet you both have definitely risen through the ranks through your efforts. So it's awesome to see.
Oh yeah, that's what I try to tell my guys is we're to a point you've got so many different verticals, so many different inside departments between HR, the fleet, We've got Perry and their team also. There's so
Accounting,
many different,
accounting.
yeah, accounting, of course.
Come on,
accounting.
finance.
And then we've got our
You've got
marketing
production
department as
and
well,
marketing. I mean, you could come and
marketing.
film podcasts.
I know you could be a producer of a podcast. I mean,
Right.
So
A highly listened and viewed podcast, I might add.
I think we're at like 3 viewers now,
Well,
or 3
your
listeners.
mom, my mom, maybe Jeff's mom. Are we
hey,
good?
I've been listening too.
Okay,
Okay,
we're good.
we got 3 listeners.
And
Here.
Shorts watches, so 4. We're good.
He doesn't listen. He just watches.
Just on mute.
But yeah, that's what
It's
I
cool.
keep telling
What
my
I do.
guys. Said, no matter what you want to do, I'm sure Mountainland's going to have a department that can facilitate it.
Yeah.
I just tell them, I said, your culture and what you want to do here speaks more of what you can do, your skills. I can show you how to pull tickets. I can show you how to drive a truck, show you how to do the counter and do everything. But I need you to want to be a part of Mountainland, and then I can take you wherever you want to go. That's what I try and tell my guys.
It's awesome.
Wow. I mean, I'm getting emotional over here. I think I might.
Brains, brawn, and philosophical.
I like that. I'm not. I really like that.
Yeah.
Like I can teach you, but you got to have the desire, and then I can take you anywhere.
Yeah.
We always had that joke about, if you can make it a year here during the summer in the warehouse, you're good. You can be here for as long as you want. But
Did you ever want to quit?
there's some couple times. I'd say right in the middle of that
I asked
shipping
Shannon the
transfer
same
area.
thing. He lied to me and said no. I totally wanted to quit. 2 weeks in, it was hard work, man.
Was it just in the warehouse though?
That was driving.
Just driving.
Yeah.
Was yours just driving?
I never wanted to quit after that.
Don't tell me it was like last week or something. Okay.
That was like Tuesday.
Dude, there's some busy times in shipping when people are yelling at you and you're in that sand, quicksand. You can't get out of it. Because I did shipping supervisor for a long time too. Mm-hmm. That's tough. That's a
lot of pressure.
It's a very thankless position at times.
You get that moment where it's like, I'm just going to go pull all the pipe for the trucks, the transfers, and just
Nobody else is going to do it right.
I'm zoning out. You
Yep.
guys handle it. I'll be back.
Yep.
Need a break.
That help.
I'm going to go bind pipe for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Make it really pretty, load a truck.
Need me to load 4 semis? Okay, I'll be right back. I'll go take care of it. We're good.
That was one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I love driving the forklift.
That's awesome.
Could probably do it better than most today.
Got a couple of yard guys that might be upset that I made a mess in the yard after that, but those trucks were ready to go.
That's okay. They got through it.
I felt like you were baiting me there, right there.
No, not at all.
No, I know, but I felt like I was being baited
I have a few
to
ideas.
say something.
I have a few ideas. We'll talk about it at some point.
Off recording.
Off air, we'll
Off
talk
air.
about it.
We'll talk about it. Sweet.
Okay. Well, Jeff, thanks for coming in, dude.
Yeah, that's great.
Thanks, man.
Beyond that, thanks for all you do.
You got to know from us, like, we really appreciate all you do.
Yeah.
And thanks for being a great leader
Yeah,
within Mountainland. We really, really appreciate it, and being a great example of, honestly, what we need from everybody.
Our culture.
Yep. So thank you.
appreciate it. So
You're a good man,
Joey.
brother.
I love you, Jeff.
Yeah, that's what I was telling Joey. I'd rather. It's such
Say
a
it
different.
back. Say it back.
I love you guys too.
There you go. Okay.
It's so different from going from that warehouse position where it's doing everything or helping with everyone to training the people to get to that point of I'm gonna delegate it out. And I know it's gonna get done. So it's been a lot of growth for me as well. I love being here. Couldn't see myself being anywhere else. So
It's awesome watching you, dude.
Don't go anywhere else. We want to keep you.
Please.
okay,
We need you.
Yeah.
I need you.
I'll be here.
Okay.
All right, everybody. That's all the time we have for today. But thanks for spending a little windshield time with us, and we'll see you on down the road.
Have a good one.
See you guys.